Session 2 here, day 3 of the World Bowls Championships in 2023. What a picturesque day we have on Australia's Gold Coast right here at the Mudgee Bar Bowls Club. Val Febo here with you for women's singles action between Sarah Trotter of Cyprus and Ellen Ryan of Australia. Barry Lester joins me right at home. Jack Carew has played in this event on many occasions. Baz, great to have your company, mate.
Thanks, Val. Yeah, we've switched directions, so this morning, east-west. And now players have to readjust because we have a little easterly breeze coming in off the ocean. As we see in the camera, where it's viewed there at the moment, that's heading back towards the south area. But as players play towards this north area, they're going to be into a bit of a headwind. So as the players change directions throughout the event, change venues, it's a matter of trying to combat that and play to the best of their ability as they start their new games.
Now, this morning, in the opening session of the day, Ellen Ryan took on Zimbabwe's Jane Rigby, and Jane was also undefeated from her contest, so they were both 5-0. And Ellen Ryan, well, we looked over, and she was already done in about 40 minutes, Baz. She won it 21-1, a superb performance. And Sarah Trotter, well, she was 5-1 going into the day in a pretty good spot. She was defeated by Marissa Baronda of the Philippines 21-7. So her task a little bit tougher. Ellen Ryan in first position, Sarah in fourth, looking to get herself a possible path through to the quarterfinals. But Ellen Ryan, a very, very dangerous prospect, a plus shot difference of plus 89 for 126 and against 37.
Yeah, and that all adds up, Val, how important that is for young Ellen there. I was asked just the other day how Ellen was travelling, and I feel it's probably nearly the best I've seen her, both technically and just maturity-wise, just feeling very comfortable out there. It's her second real big major coming off Birmingham last year to be able to really stamp her authority, but I'm just seeing a really good mature presence out on the green and technically very sound as well. So this morning in kind conditions, she's come out and made the most of that.
Yep, certainly has, and it's going to be a really interesting contest. Now, Sarah is she's going to be using the Aero Optimus, and Ellen Ryan, of course, a Henselite team member, using the XGs, and be really interesting to see how this one goes. Now, Sarah, that horn sounded a little bit worse for wear there, but we're off and running. And it'll be Sarah Trotter to trot up onto the green and put the mat down. And she will kick us off here with the jack roll. 21 up, of course, to our 15-time limit. And she hasn't finished a lot of her matches, I think. There's been about 3 that she hasn't completed. So she's very cool, calm, collected on the mat, very measured in her approach, and takes her time when needed. Our marker, of course, Diane. She's one of the best. We see her a lot at the Australian Open. She's an absolute superstar. Looking forward to this contest, Baz, because Sarah is going to make Ellen work for this.
Yeah, she sure is, and it's something that I'm sure Ellen has put a little bit of time and effort into. When you're playing someone that has a unique way of going about it, within their own right, each player has their own routine, their own delivery technique. And Ellen, well, she's playing against someone's fairly slow, and she's just got to play her own game, focus on what she can control and not let any of that bother her. But as I said in the intro, the players have changed directions. They're playing right now into a strong easterly breeze, and we see both players pulling up short.
Yep. So for the moment, it's Sarah Trotter, but as you like to say, Baz, the winning bowl hasn't been played just yet. And good afternoon or good morning still to everybody that's watching on. Barbara Austin, good luck, Sarah. Now, Barbara is one of our resident watchers or viewers from Cyprus, so sure you know Sarah Trotter very well. A lot of people here to support Ellen, and good luck to Fiji this morning in the ladies' singles. That's from Leanne Patterson. Great to have everybody's company wherever they're watching around the world. Val Febo and Barry Lester joining you from Mudgee Bar on the Gold Coast, which is your home, Baz. Well, not Mudgee Bar per se, but you're not overly far away.
No, I only live 15 minutes up the road, do I, Val? And it's a beautiful part of the world here. You've got you're on the edge, sort of the hinterland. You're getting away from the ocean, and you're not far from the hinterland, and you start working your way into that Currumbin Valley area, and that is just beautiful, full of wildlife. And It is excellent part of the world.
Yeah, it's good because you can go to that. It doesn't take much on the Gold Coast up here to get from that city lifestyle sort of around.
Yeah, that's right.
Where Broadbeach is, it's vibing. There's restaurants around. But if you want to go see the wildlife, you can. There's Springbrook National Park. There's so much to do in terms of nature here as well. So it's a great city, and there's plenty on offer for anyone that wants to come and have a look and have a visit. So beautiful beaches, beautiful wildlife, great greenery, and awesome food. And of course, Barry Lester lives here as well.
Yeah, so both players just still scratching around just slightly, and that's what you're going to see. Just warming up, finding their way into the green here, finding their way into the conditions, new direction. They've had a lot of downtime, especially Ellen. I think, as you said there, about 40 minutes to play her first game. She's only had about an hour and a half of just resetting and cooling off, and then beginning her warm-up.
Enjoying some sun.
Yeah, it is.
Sitting there with Karen Murphy, and it was the same at Helensvale yesterday. They were just both lying on the bank of the green, just having a little bit of a sunbake.
Yeah, perfect conditions, really. That little easterly, well, you don't have to really worry about that too much. But sometimes, technically wise, it's good to have a bit of a game plan to combat wind. Technically with your actual technique, but more so when combating any foreign conditions like wind, it's more of a mental thing.
So Sarah Trotter, the red bowls, Alan Ryan, the blue. And Sarah's just going to miss high with her fourth. So Alan will score here, barring catastrophe. Opportunity for her to put in a second. We saw her yesterday morning against Kumari Mangos of Sri Lanka. Kumari has had a pretty good morning herself. She's put herself in a really good spot here. She sits third in this group behind Jane Rigby. She looks to make her way into the quarterfinals, possibly. Alan Ryan just goes past, so starts proceedings with a single.
Yeah, good start. You know, it's just one of those ones playing into a bit of a breeze. See the majority of the bowls short of the jack there, and that's just that method of just trying to feel the way up to the jack. You know, in a perfect world, I always believe that if you can just get a few bowls past the jack early, learn from the experience of actually reaching your target and bring your way back. I definitely recommend that in a roll-up. Try and play a few bowls beyond your target, and so you know what it's like to reach and then work your way back, or else you're left sort of trying to find your way to the target. And it's always a big part of the game is your roll-up. You see both players having two ends, and your roll-up starts well and truly the actual bowling in the game. Your roll-up starts in your mind as well. So start thinking about, as we see Alan Ryan, nice start there, you start thinking about the conditions. So find some time on your own or play a bit of music. Maybe do some reflection time before you start your next game on your previous performance. So you need to really switch your mind on. There are some touch on, touch off methods for that. But if you can really turn your mind on, then you can switch to getting those bowls away nicely and really making the most of that roll-up.
From around the greens or around the clubs, Aaron Wilson and Aaron Tees, for those that are wondering. They won their first match this morning in the men's pairs. 6-shot win over Singapore to get themselves into second spot in their section behind Wales, who we streamed yesterday in the afternoon. Baz and, my God, the Welsh pair of Jared Breen and Daniel Salmon, they were phenomenal.
Yeah, really good pair. Their chemistry was fantastic. Their play was great. Daniel Salmon leading up well to set Jared up some great heads, and Teasy was solid as usual, and Aaron Wilson just playing some massive conversions to try and find a way to come away with the win. But I know conditions play a large part, but when you're a hot pair like they are, they're going to be hard to beat, and they proved that yesterday. So both players playing opposite sides of the rink. So Alan Ryan using the tailwind. So as her bowl comes down the green and turns towards her target, she has 100% tailwind. But as her opposition, Sarah, plays the opposite side, you'll get tailwind to a certain distance, as we see Alan switching to the forehand. So there's tailwind there. And as the bowl tries to turn into the breeze, and then that's when the combating starts. And just running on a touch. So first look on the forehand this direction for Ellen Ryan, just missing high. But that's okay because if Ellen happened to trail the jack, she takes away the target for her opponent.
John Stokes just asking if Australia did win the men's triples this morning. Had to do some work and missed the end. Unfortunately, from an Australian standpoint, they fell 12-11 to the Malaysian trio, and a wonderful exhibit of skip bowling from Hisley Abdul Rais. He was absolutely monumental in getting the Malaysians over the line there. They win by a shot and go to the top of that section. 1 foot in the quarterfinal for them.
Ellen Ryan back on the forehand also here. If she can draw another one or just slide in behind would be ideal.
Most likely a 3 if she can get
good.
in. Will it stop?
Yeah, good home.
Probably just the 2 at the moment.
No targets, really. You've got a slight jack-high target, but it's not really anything to worry about because Sarah's in a position where she can't play weight. If she misses, she could be 2 or 3 down. She'd be just trying to cut the number down here.
Just resetting herself.
Yep, very methodical with her approach. A lot of work done pre-mat, which I'm a big fan of. And get on the mat, execute your pre-shot routine. It's out on a nice arc.
It's not bad at all here, Barry.
Just looking to cut this back, potentially cut it back to 1. If she falls over, well, she's done that. Whoa, it didn't quite fall.
I still think this will be 1. Let's see what Ellen Ryan thinks. She picks it up, and that is just the single for the Australian. The Commonwealth Games champion has won the opening 2 ends of this contest with singles. Leads at 2-0 after 2.
And Ellen Ryan's sporting the Sparms protective sleeves. Very popular initiative happening across all sports, but a great one to see in bowls. We've got to look after our skin out there, competing at the highest level or any level in the sport of bowls or even day-to-day gardening and so on. They're very handy.
Certainly are. Big shout out to Chloe Stewart doing a wonderful job with them. Just released Sparms Cricket as well. John Derrick asking, how does our men's triples team stand in their section? So they've gone down to 3rd with that loss, but it's not too drastic because India haven't had the bye yet. So with that bye, we'll bring Australia back into the forefront should they continue to win. So if Australia keep winning, they'll be through, and we'll be broadcasting them next again against France in the final session of the day.
So green speed, 14.5 seconds. Probably slightly slower into this headwind as Sarah Trotter picks up the jack on the way through.
Followed it through too.
Nice attacking draw shot.
That's the Cyprus logo, or the Cyprus island, the flag.
I've never been. Have you, Val?
No, never have. One of my best friends, Chris, he's Cypriot, and he's been and absolutely loves it up there, and I've heard it's absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of sporting talent that has come out of Cyprus before, and I think of Marcos Bagdatis.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was thinking that's about the only real sort of famous athlete I can think of.
He is.
Marcos Bagdatis.
That run to the 2006 Australian Open final that encapsulated the entirety of the world, and especially in Melbourne where there is a massive Greek community. Roger Federer was the man that spoiled that party, but when you face the GOAT, it's going to be hard to win.
Yeah, the Atlantic Rim Championships featuring Paul Foster and a few others many years ago. Alan Faulkner, I remember seeing that come from Cyprus. A couple of bowling greens, Oceanside. I'm pretty sure it was Cyprus. And also I saw Calvin Kirko feature in an event over there many years ago. Brett Wilkie, I think there might have been a World Champions event there or something. So they love their bowls over there.
Yep.
Beautiful part of the world. I've only seen the photos online. Love to get there someday.
Yeah. Sort of in that Aegean. There's a lot like the Mediterranean around there, the Greek islands, Cyprus. Some beautiful spots.
As we see Sarah there, the pre-shot routine, sits the bowl behind the mat, sorts her grip pre-mat, and then steps on and bowls.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but if it works for her, it seems to be doing. But we have noted that she hasn't finished a few of her matches. She has been on the right side of those. And at the moment, she's holding sway here. She's got, I reckon she'd be holding, what do you think here, Baz? Probably a 2?
It's, I think, just out of the second. But,
yeah. So, yeah, the jack is just before the line there.
Yeah, Alan Ryan now just needs to try and cut this down. Evenly, if she doesn't get the shot, just reduce the room that Sarah has. At the moment, she's got about another 4 feet to get another one in there. Or does Alan Ryan just got to send it out, work with into the breeze. Let the breeze bring it back. You see there.
She's missing high here. Won't get back in time.
So she's just longing on that one a little bit, Alan, just staring that down, just expecting a little bit more shoulder turn there. And as I do look at the conditions, it's sort of into the front as well. So as it's coming into the headwind as well, it's sort of taking a bit of bias off. It's not quite bending as much as you would suggest, but we'll see both players once they sort of get a feel for this new angle, new direction. And that's another thing that's a huge component of this event. Players, when they stand on the podium at the end of this event, they will have played across 5 different venues, a couple of different directions, and in multiple various weather conditions.
100%.
And that's what makes the World Championship title even greater. And I'm not taking anything away. We spoke about this the other day, Val, as Sarah Trotter picks up one, about where do you put Com Games and Worlds next to each other in terms of prestige. Com Games generally is at one venue, and World Champs is across multiple. So that's just adds another ingredient to
doesn't it?
The prestige of winning a world title. And that's not always been the case at World Championships, but as the event grows, 44 countries.
You're going to need more than one venue.
And the inclusion, too, of the male-female program.
Yep. And also the para program as well.
Correct.
11 gold medals up for grabs. Baz, now the most successful, I'm not sure what the most successful World Championships is for a nation. I reckon that might go back to 2012, where Australia dominated in South Australia. But that with the extra 3 gold medals, those records are bound to be broken.
So as we see, players not struggling to reach in this direction at all with that tail breeze.
That's gone straight in the ditch.
So a lost jack and a lost bowl so far this game.
Yeah, Samuel Shane Winter is saying Worlds has to be better, more countries for one. And how many countries don't go to the Commonwealth Games? It's exactly right. America is one of those, and they're actually playing pretty well right here. So there's a few nations that don't go to the Com Games, and you have to win a lot more matches to win a world title. Good afternoon, or good morning to Val McKenzie, who's watching on.
So Sarah Trotter going to miss under. She needs some connection here.
Or has she found the gap? She has. Breeze has picked up, hasn't it, Baz?
Yeah, you probably just hear it slowly hitting our microphones. It's actually starting to... That's a gust now, and the flags are at full flight.
Yep.
Not much to go on by in the background other than the blue shade sails you see there. It's flapping around. Alan Ryan trying to adjust. She knows that as that wind gets up, she needs to send it out on a higher line, and she's done well there.
We are out in the open here at Mudgee Bar. It's there's not much sort of building cover like we have at Broadbeach in terms of the trees as well. Helensvale kind of covered as in addition.
Well, we're facing sort of northeast where we're situated, Val, and we can see the city buildings of the Surfers Paradise. So that just gives you an indication. We're about 15 kilometres away from the Surfers Paradise buildings, and we can get a clear sight of them. So it's Sarah Trotter. It's a nice correction.
Well, she's been able to find the jack on a couple of occasions already, the Cypriot. So born in the UK, made the move over and now represents Cyprus.
Alan Ryan just trying to arrive here, promote her front bowl or sit the shot bowl. Not close, oh, pretty close, not far away. So great weight control from Alan Ryan there, just one bowl under. Great effort. Sarah Trotter coming down to have a look. Just double checking how much room she has. So just going halfway down the green. She saw enough. So it can be either or here for Sarah. Forehand trail runs the risk of giving it away, or backhand. Just work around on a high line to that back bowl and trying to play two bowls the same. So in tricky conditions like it is now with the wind starting to gust, ideally you don't want to be switching hands too often. You want to try and get as much rhythm as you can. And unfortunately, just the way this head's set up, Sarah has to switch over to the forehand. And she just has to try and change the angles up for Alan Ryan here. Pretty good attempt, just out on that high line. Probably going to lose that one. Yes, she has. So Alan Ryan all of a sudden, one down, but a few around it.
Yep.
She may elect to do what she did a few times against Kamara from Sri Lanka yesterday morning. Kamari play big weight, looking for her nearest through the shot bowl to make a number, as you would have saw on the Bowls Australia's social media last night. That well put together.
That's
reel.
3.
That well put together with reel.
Lockie on fire.
Alan Ryan she's not afraid to go big when needed.
Oh,
and she's going to do it here.
Com Games gold medal. Let's see what Alan Ryan's got. She's not far away.
Needs the front bowl solid. What an effort.
It was a very good effort. So to be 1 to Sarah Trotter, and we go up in singles. And it is 2 apiece now. Sarah Trotter will be playing the World Bowls Champion of Champions this year for Cyprus, which is going to commence right after the World Bowls Championships at Club Robina. Karen Murphy will be playing in that as well. So, been to the mixed pairs final at Bowls England, or in England as well. At the national mixed pairs, has represented Kent. Lost Jack there for Sarah, so Alan will get to dictate the length here.
Yeah, Alan, I'm keen to see where she wants to put this Jack. Yeah, so mat up. So another little trick of the trade, I guess they say. By taking the mat well and truly up the green in windy conditions, it takes a lot of green out of play versus having the Jack short up the green. Still leaves a lot of green in play. So Alan's just trying to get that Jack up under the hedges and in out of the breeze. Trying to work with the conditions. So mat up, Jack on the tee. And that has the length of this end around the 20, probably 24 metre mark, 25 metre mark. So quite a short end, but both players getting it up under that breeze, that big thick hedge there.
Really interesting match going on a couple of rings over, Baz, between Jane Rigby and Kumari Mangos. That match will almost possibly decide who is going through to the quarterfinals as well. Not many matches to go here. The women's singles semi-final will take place on Saturday morning at Club Helensvale before the final on Sunday afternoon. So still a long way to go in this women's singles competition. Right here, Sarah Trotter taking it right up to Alan Ryan as the wind continues to play havoc now.
Yeah, you can just see Alan's uniform there. The shirt just flapping around there in the breeze and the wind having full effect into that bowl. That bowl's heading straight towards the wind direction. And I'm no weather expert, but these kind of conditions, as they fluke and sort of gust around, you've got to try and play to them of your best ability. Try and find a sweet spot. You can see that sharpness,
Yeah,
that swooping across with the breeze, and that bowl's forced Alan to switch here. So probably one of the key elements is just trying to play area bowls. Try not to be too perfect in tricky conditions. Let's see a nice switch over from Alan, and that's a great shot.
Alan Ryan, that is how you adapt.
So from backhand to forehand, added 4 feet of weight, comes down, draws a noser.
Colin Bray is back. He's counting our jacks and how many we've lost. That's 2. You're a good man, Colin. Hope the rehab is going well with the knee.
Sarah Trotter looking for a close bowl here.
See how much this turns. Well,
connection. Well, opened it up nicely.
Yep.
Managed to get second shot and give herself a chance with her last delivery.
There's an option for a little tuck of the jack there for a couple. See if Alan Ryan can do anything about it. She's taken a wide line, so let's see where this goes. She's walking and jogging in behind it.
Here it comes.
It is going to turn. We know that. Those XGs have been turning sharply, and Alan Ryan, that is beautiful.
Yeah, she loved it out of the hand. Trotted after it. It wasn't just Sarah Trotter doing all the trotting. Alan was after that. Soon as she let it go.
That's good by you. Let's have a look at the replay.
Yeah, here she
She
goes.
knew the line that she needed to be on, and as soon as she starts jogging in behind it, her body language tells the story, Alan Ryan.
I probably should have said canter because Alan Ryan, as we know, does love to get out and ride her horses.
She does. She's got a lot of interesting hobbies, Alan Ryan. He's much more outdoorsy than what I am, that's for sure. Volunteer firefighter as well. Sarah Trotter needs this to dart back. It's trying. It won't.
Yeah, it's a great effort. You know, just trying to read the breeze, send it out, let the breeze bring that back. And Sarah Trotter just missing high. Good attempt, good intent as well. And Alan Ryan, because of the fluky conditions, she's declared this head. She knows any touch of that jack might go to an unfavourable position and be 1 or 2 down. So Alan's taken the 2.
First multiple of the match at the moment. 4-2, Alan Ryan leads. It's been an interesting start, 5 ends old. And we've only seen singles before that.
So Alan Ryan placing her bowl well and truly down the green, just to indicate that's where she'll be coming back to put the mat down.
It's a good little system there because it just shows you the indication. Sometimes you might forget where you wanted to put it.
Oh, absolutely no guesswork at all. It's all programmed in for Alan Ryan. She wants to play this length. As we see the wind right behind this jack. Will it stay up? It's close.
Good camera work, Lockie, just following that along. It does stay up. Very nice.
How good is that? Lockie on fire, mate. Thanks for that. So the jack roll's so important. Alan Ryan's got it in her head that that's the length she wants to play, that 24, 25 metres. Nice, kind length. Get a lot of green out of play behind her. As you can see behind the mat, a lot of bowling green out of play. And she's opened up with a clinker. Backhand, inside 2 feet. Lovely shot, Alan Ryan.
Handling the conditions pretty well is Alan Ryan. Starting to work her way into this. Sarah Trotter went on a 2-end run after Alan Ryan scored in the first 2 ends, but only singles between the pairs or between the pair. Sheena McKelvey watching from Scotland. Great to have your company. Great to have your company wherever you're watching from around the world. And of course, if you are watching, just give us a share. Share the post. Share with your friends what's going on, because it is the 2023 World Bowls Championships on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, the share is so important. You wouldn't believe how many times you just share something onto your wall and someone might, end up purchasing something you're trying to sell, or, just find an interest in something that you're doing. And Alan Ryan just drawing a front touch.
I'm interested in what Alan Ryan's doing.
And just promoting something that of one of your hobbies, such as something like bowls. People then actually tune in and watch it because you've shared it. And then from there, you never know, they could take the game up. So share that's why you're friends with them on social media. You share what you love and what your passions are, and you might get someone else interested as well. And that's the beauty of this live streaming.
Exactly right, Barry.
Sarah Trotter on the backhand. Nice guide there.
Really good head so far.
Just missing high.
Curse of the commentator.
Well, it was pretty dangerous weight, to be honest. She didn't want to probably flick her own out for 2 down. So as it sits at the moment, Ellen Ryan holding 1. She probably wants to get in there first. Just take that shot away from Sarah Trotter. She's got the 2 bowls remaining. She'll be trying to get in there under that wing bowl of Ellen Ryan's. Ellen's not far away here. Perfect result is to sit this red bowl.
And she has done it.
What a shot, Ellen
Is
Ryan.
it 3? Probably 2 and a measure indicated by our marker. Richard Carroll Burt watching from Creswick in Victoria. We're out at Creswick last year at our Bowls Australia Christmas gathering. Went and had a look at the greens over there. It's a lot of fun.
Home of the great late Ray Laycock, my old state coach, as Sarah Trotter trying to get jack action. Well, what a shot.
Got it.
She's opened it up. She might be holding 1 now.
I reckon she is. That is a brilliant shot from Sarah Trotter.
Well, Sarah Trotter, she was always going to be in the hunt down there. And Ellen Ryan
Great line.
tried to take that shot away from her with her previous delivery. And Sarah Trotter was up for the task, as we see here. Backhand with weight, looking to move some bowls or kick the jack out. She gets the front of the jack and kicks it out to the wing. And all of a sudden, it's back to a 1-bowl shootout.
Yep. Fiona Newey watching from Timboon, down on near the Great Ocean Road. Great part of the world near Port Campbell. Scott Franklin from Doha Airport on his way to Athens with his wife Janet. Great to have your company, Scott.
Ellen Ryan needs to push.
Yeah, that'll...
Should be enough.
Yep, that'll do for 1. So 1 blue. Sarah Trotter's going to have an inspection. See what she needs to do here, because it's a completely different line after the jack got skewed out wide.
Yeah, for me, it's actually backhand now. A forehand, no need to go near Ellen Ryan's bowl. As you can clearly see, a big gap on the backhand. It's a shot that must be practiced if you want to do well, either playing backhand in a team event or singles. So probably pick out a spot so halfway between the jack and her nearest red bowl. Just pick out a spot, find your line, and get to it. And as we see, backhand shaping up behind the mat, bowl sitting on the ground, already in the backhand position. Pick up the bowl, step onto the mat, and release. This one's spinning into play down on the backhand. Looks to be on a good arc.
She's not on a bad arc at all, Barry. Needs it to stop. It's too quick, and Ellen Ryan wins yet another end. So it is 5-2 in favour of the Australian. A couple of questions coming through. What bowls is Sarah using? She's using Aero Optima. Arnulfo Alberto Angulo Sanchez is watching from Colombia. That is one of the best names I have ever seen. Daniel Spangenberg, he's watching from Rink 5. Where's Daniel?
Colombia. I'm back at Colombia. That sounds fantastic.
Where is Daniel? Give us a wave if we can see you. Can't quite see him. I think he'd be sitting closer to our end. It's just obstructed from view. Ineke Spangenberg representing the Netherlands.
Ellen Ryan starting to get a hang of this forehand now. Another touch out in this direction. So after a couple of sort of feelers in this direction, first sort of couple of ends, Ellen's really starting to find this now. And a lot that's contributing to that is the jack length. So getting that jack up under the hedge here, trying to utilise as much as she can to try and increase her effective rate. So as we see these bowls, you can't quite see it on camera, but as we see these bowls heading towards that direction, there's a big hedge, sits about 5 foot high, just off the edge of the green. And by having that jack up under the hedge, just takes away a bit of that wind exposure and would no doubt increase the effective rate of both players. And as we see Ellen there, just starting to get a bit of rhythm up as opposed to the jack being, as we see the lines on the green, if the jack was way up at the top of that line, it would be 360 exposure to the breeze, but at the moment it's not as harsh.
Nicely played from Alan there. Now, where's this one going to turn? Is this going to drop underneath here for Sarah?
Might run away.
Going to come close. We know that they're darting, and that won't do. So still 2 for Alan Ryan.
Yeah, so Alan really enjoying just letting the wind do the work here, as we see. Probably out to about somewhere around about 6 to 7 feet of draw there.
Not like a 10-foot draw yesterday in the men's pairs. Alan.
And she's just getting a free run now, Alan Ryan.
Canters in, as you said, Baz. That's a third.
So she's getting a free run, forehand all to herself. And her last couple of ends coming this way have all been quite effective on her forehand. As Sarah persists with this backhand, she needs to find about a foot of grass, drop a foot of weight. She's corrected pretty well from here. She looks really good.
Sarah Trotter, this would be a very, very big bowl.
Great correction.
And that will do for shot. Now, it's sitting right behind the jack too, so it's obstructed if Alan wanted to play weight and sit it away.
Yeah, persistence pays off there.
Is there a chance here, Baz, that maybe Alan switches hands, sits the bowl away and stays for 4?
There is. So Alan Ryan, as you can see, she's studying this head. So straight away, her objective is to get shot. And you got to think about how you want to do that. Dead draw it or play weight. But then you got to think about, if you're playing weight, what is the pros and cons? As we see, if she gets connection on her bowl, her shortest bowl or her nearest bowl to the jack, inside connection, she can actually wick off and take her other 2 blue bowls out. And that would be her biggest fear when playing weight. So there's a very limited chance of that happening if she plays forehand. So she's playing forehand. So forehand, very limited chance of her getting her own, and then the other 2, whereas backhand, a higher percentage.
So Sarah Trotter with an opportunity to score a multiple of her own here and go within 1 of Alan Ryan, who leads 5-2 at the moment, barring catastrophe. This will change.
Barbara Close watching from Darwin. Absolutely. I love Darwin. Played bowls up there a few times. Some great clubs, great atmosphere.
Tristan Smallacombe, a Darwin superstar, Australian Champion of Champions winner, represents the NT in some of the Australian championships that we have. Side series coming up in October at the Nationals. Bit of a safe weight there for Sarah Trotter.
Yeah,
so she takes the 1.
Played the big one when it mattered with her 3rd bowl. She got the shot there, and it was a really nice sort of indication of persistence there from Sarah. Just missing slightly over with her 2nd delivery, and really nice correction to get the shot with her 3rd bowl. So that was great to see, and that helps her confidence. And Alan Ryan, with her confidence with weighted shots, as you could see with that last bowl of hers, single bowl target, that's where she's at with her game. 1 bowl, 2 bowl target, doesn't seem to matter. And she's backing herself in at the moment. And Sarah Trotter, Jack just off the tee as we see there, but Matt well and truly back. So a new length for both players.
Radhika Prasad, Bula Vinaka. Great to have your company, Radhika. Superstar from Fiji. Watching on. So Sarah Trotter trying to toss it out here. Has she got the jack first up? Ooh, by a whisker. Radhika is going to be, she's representing Fiji in the women's 4s and the triples. Great to have your company.
Alan Ryan on a beautiful high line. Should get back to the centre of this rink nicely, and she's done that. Just a yard over.
Falls in though, so that's probably going to do for shot.
Yeah, and windy conditions, if you're achieving centre rink, that's a huge, huge box ticked. You know, you're gonna try and feel your weight around in the breeze, but if you can find a hand you're comfortable on and really nail that line, like Ellen has there, just that small correction will be required with weight. But Sarah Trotter in this particular direction's not quite finding her line. Her effective bowl or her one effective bowl last end in this direction was actually on her backhand. Be interesting to see if Sarah decides to start playing perhaps backhand around the clock. She's looking with her third bowl just to find something in the middle of her first two as
Ellen Ryan
gets to the middle again with better weight.
Yeah, she's asking the question here of Sarah Trotter. And Sarah is going to have to keep responding because the consistency of Ellen Ryan has been elite so far. What can the Cypriot come back with?
So forehand it is again. Looking for something in between line-wise. Weight was pretty good with her previous delivery. Just going to run through.
It's going to push Ellen Ryan's bowl away, and Di Milner says, I think it's just one.
So Ellen Ryan on the backhand, looking to get another one in there. She's wanting it to turn. Should turn late.
Won't be enough, though.
Here it comes.
Or maybe. Have I gone the early crow here? It has fallen in, so possibly a second there for Ellen Ryan.
So
I did dart back late, and
two
Di says two. John Siteman tuning in for another great game while watching the live scoring updates of Canada/USA in the women's four as well. This might be the new rivalry between the two countries. We know that basketball, hockey have got a massive rivalry. Canada.
Yeah, correct, Val. Some great rivalries in multiple sports, and it's just great to see so many countries putting their hand up to compete at the world level. We'll try and walk away with some silverware.
Lacrosse as well.
Sarah Trotter, definitely on a tighter line.
This one might come underneath. We know that it's darting. At the moment, look at how far that came. So an opportunity for Ellen Ryan where there's two there. A three would be huge.
Yeah, so just on that, as we see the head situated, just if we put Sarah Trotter's bowls into isolation, we've got bowls, 4 different bowls on 4 different lines. Now, if we had 2 or 3 bowls on similar lines, you'd probably persist with the forehand in this direction. But when you're self-assessing yourself during the game, you've got to look at what's working and what's not. And for me, I think it's time for Sarah to probably give the forehand away. There's just not enough positives to come from it just yet. And the fact that Ellen's playing the other hand, if she just switches to the other hand, she might not potentially play better, but just might change the rhythm of the game and the tempo of the game and maybe get in Ellen Ryan's eye. So they're the little self-observations, and as Ellen Ryan draws another one.
That's 3.
As a player, you've got to make during a game. And I know Sarah's probably thinking a good shot on that hand is just around the corner, but it might be time to actually switch hands and find some better consistency.
Ellen Ryan makes her move. 8-3 is the score. We've played 8 ends in this contest between 1st and 4th in Section 1 of the women's singles event at the 2023 World Bowls Championships. So, looking forward to seeing how this one pans out. Sarah Trotter's had a great tournament so far. 5 wins, 2 losses. Ellen Ryan, 6 wins with no loss. Sarah hasn't had the bye as of yet. Fans from all over the world watching on here on the Gold Coast. The wind just picks up a little bit more. A little bit shorter this length, and look at the way that bowl turned from Ellen Ryan before. Let's see what Sarah Trotter can do. Can she toss it out on a wider line? And it is working its way back. Not sure whether that'll do or not. Nothing coming from our marker. We'll find out a bit later. John Simon saying there is a big rivalry in bowls between Canada and the USA. Who's got the better of that, Johnny? I'm going to guess Canada, considering the pedigree of bowlers that have come from the Maple Leaf Nation. Ryan Bester being one of the best of those, him and winning the only World Bowls Championships gold medal for the country in 2004 in the men's pairs. A lot of silver medals as well for Ryan Bester, so I'm sure he'll want to get himself on the top step of that podium. But this is wonderful bowling from Alan Ryan at the moment. However, Sarah Trotter has probably holding sway here.
Yeah, Alan Ryan, forehand again. Just missing high with one of them. But that's just that breeze. It can grab your bowl and bring it in like this. What a
She's
shot.
Working the conditions very nicely, Barry.
Yeah, just that persistence and using that breeze to the best of your ability. Sarah Trotter now. She's lining up backhand. She's got a couple of bowls to negotiate with. So, out on a nice line. I do believe it'll work back. Has she got the weight? Yeah, punching into that headwind. And as we see there, the breeze just owns that bowl.
Just when you think it's going to stop, the breeze gives it a few more centimetres.
Yeah, just denying Sarah Trotter there. The breeze is saying, sorry, you're going to have to push in to that breeze a bit stronger, because what we're seeing from the breeze is it's resulting in 3 short bowls. And Sarah now, her opportunities are limited because of that. So
it's going to be hard, for Ellen. I was thinking maybe if she could get some sort of jack movement, get a big score, but might be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, as the wind's gusting, it might actually pull this one back strongly. Yes, it is going to. Not quite enough to count, though. Sarah Trotter could actually be 2 down here.
It's really picking up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is gusting as opposed to being a breeze anymore. Just went and spoke with some of the locals, and it's a southwester, they believe. So a nice, strong southwesterly breeze. And it's moving across the green on an angle, so it's not either in front or behind. So players just trying their best. Sarah Trotter sticking to the backhand. She needs to find a way under her last bowl or come around.
Tell you what, Barry.
Fair effort.
She's not far away here, Sarah Trotter. Got the jack.
Well,
got the ooh.
That's magic. One
yeah, no, she got it.
That is magic.
One red. That is brilliantly done from Sarah Trotter. The Cypriot pulling out all the shots.
Yeah, went the hard way, but gee, she did it well. She just had to find that yard of weight, backed herself on the line, and she pulled out an absolute cracker. Backhand, just halving the jack and flopping down. So one shot to Sarah Trotter.
Really great effort there from the Cypriot to get herself
putting the mat right back too, Val.
Yep.
Yeah, right back. You can see just a couple of metres off the tee there. So interesting to see whether she tries to go long. I'm really keen to see if she stays on this forehand in this direction.
Jack stays on, right to the tee.
I'm thinking it's time for backhand. Well, I think it's forehand.
Find out.
Yes,
Picks
it is.
the bowl up. Yep.
So forehand it is. Can she correct on an end where she couldn't quite find it 2 ends ago, and it just doesn't seem to be happening in this forehand. I'm not quite sure what support staff that Sarah has handy, but probably needs to have a chat with someone or somehow find a little self-reflection on really trying something new for me.
This is where singles is all about problem solving, and you do have a coach out there sometimes, but it is just, it's mano a mano.
As you see, Allen's effective rate on the wide side's been quite high. So Sarah Trotter, it's a game of persistence for her at the moment, especially in this direction.
Looking at the scorecard, Baz, you can also see that, you can tell the consistency of Alan Ryan. Yeah, she's leading 8-4, but the ends that she's lost have all been singles. So she's been in the area every single time, and Sarah has had to pull out something magical to beat her. That'll do for now, but Alan Ryan is going to continue to be in the area here.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Good observation, that one. Much better from Sarah. Alan Ryan still got a free look at this backhand. Nice open draw. A little touch of the jack. She could make 2. Or contact on the bowl. Doesn't want to turn the bowl over. Well, that's not bad.
So it'll pull up, I think.
Sarah Trotter looking to back it up here. 2 bowls the same.
It's pulled up right on the precipice of the ditch. Barry?
Yeah, Sarah Trotter, the key here now is just try and play 2 the same and then breed some confidence back into yourself with this forehand. She's played it pretty well. Is it going to pull up in time? She needs connection if she's running. Well, not a bad home and good body language there. Jogging down after that one, chasing after it.
2 left in the tank for Alan Ryan.
Tighter line here from Alan Ryan. It's not far away here.
She's very close, Alan Ryan.
Edge of the bowl and stay. She's played it.
Oh, that is
and
magical.
The jack.
That's enough for 2.
Classy shot. Great correction with weight control.
Have a look at the replay. You said it early in the delivery, Baz. Tighter line, got underneath that bowl, slid off.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, just making that minor correction, Val. So with Alan's second delivery, you can see at the bottom of the screen there, it was a good line to get what she was going for. It was just the weight that carried her past her intended outcome. Backs the weight off, gets a nice worker off the shot bowl and sits for 2. So Sarah Trotter looking for something similar to her first bowl that went into the ditch, just to be slightly high with a little bit of weight.
Well, she's put it out on a wider line here, Baz. But how's her weight? And look, she struggled on this side. And Alan Ryan, an opportunity here for her to pop in another third here and be the first 10, which she will be either way unless she does something drastic.
Yeah, same bowl for me for Alan Ryan. Just stick to what you know, backhand. Just get to the shot bowl. Send it out on a nice line again. That's what she'll be doing. She doesn't need to go near the jack. She just needs to go near the shot bowl. And that's the key. Something within about 2 feet. Send it out. Let the conditions bring the bowl back home. Pretty good line. It's a matter of weight now. She's played it very well.
She's there. You called it in beautifully, Barry Lester. Alan Ryan with her second triple. And that puts her in front 11-4. She's the first to 10, which is always a little mental edge on your opponent. Mightily good performance so far from the Australian, the Commonwealth Games champion of 2022. In singles and in pairs, the only bowler in history to have done that.
Yeah, so Alan Ryan just sneaking up for a little chat with her coach there and Karen Murphy just at the side of the screen. And that predominantly, and I don't want to guess and be wrong, I'm happy to be wrong, that's okay. My observations would be it would be about a length heading back to into this breeze. Might be something like I didn't quite find it last end, or is there some way I could potentially play a little bit better in this direction, or maybe even suggesting a way to restrict Sarah Trotter's performance in this particular direction. So it's great to see, and that's that maturity I spoke about with Alan Ryan, feeling right at home out on the green, playing singles for her country, biggest stage of bowls.
Of course, right at home, the proud sponsors of the Jackaroos.
And that's the thing with Alan Ryan's game at the moment. She's playing a lot of top flight bowls. representing New South Wales on a regular occasion.
Representing Australia as well, the Bowls Premier League. Tristan Smallercombe, thanks for the coverage, lads. Reckon bowlers of all levels could really get something out of Barry's commentary this week. Well, that's exactly right. That's why he's here. Hopefully I haven't inflated your head too much, but
very good.
You're doing a good job, Baz.
Thanks, mate. No, good friend of mine, old Tris. Had
He's
some
a
great
great
battles. Classy player and absolute gentleman. He's represented Northern Territory and Western Australia on many occasions and got an absolute swag of big titles, has Tristan. So good to see you tuning in, mate, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon as both players just adjust to this new length that Alan Ryan, I'm sure, would have suggested to have a bit of a chat to Karen Murphy about. Maybe it was, let's go ditch to ditch and try and stretch Sarah Trotter out. You know, when you're talking 36 metres into a headwind, it's hard for anyone, let alone someone that's playing at Mudgee Bar for the first time, trying to adapt. So the breeze has just settled a bit. Hasn't got up too much at the moment. Probably the last 20 minutes, it's about just gone back to more of a breeze than some of those hard gusts we were getting. Sarah Trotter pushing up into that breeze. So straight into it as that bowl sits now, and it's going to be enough. So great correction from Sarah Trotter. We saw that last end in this direction with her last bowl. Corrected well, and that's that persistence. You've got to just try and stick to that one hand. As we see Alan Ryan forehand looking to get back. Yeah, nice attempt. Weight-wise, just missing slightly high. Might have a bit of value later on if she looks to look at that shot bowl of Sarah Trotter's. So Sarah really needs to get another one in there now. And look at this routine. Absolutely love it. Yes, it's different. It's not common, but it's the same every time. The grip is sorted before she gets to the mat. She lines up her body in line with her target before the mat. So everything is set up well and truly before the mat. And then once she gets to the mat, it's just a case of executing the pre-shot. Needs to be careful here. Well, that's second best, getting in behind. Alan Ryan, as we see, just stalking that head as she walks away. Just trying to tick off on exactly what she needs to do here. She has 2 seconds. She has the Bacchus bowl. Just sketching up a shot. For me, I think it still might be forehand. Maybe trying to sit the bowl of Sarah Trotter's out through the hole. Or potentially, yeah, it will be forehand. So I think it might be increased weight here. This weight will be, I believe, enough weight to promote the blue bowls. Or if she picks the hole, she can sit that bowl of Sarah Trotter's. She's not far away here. She's definitely playing some form of arriving weight. Could she get the jack? Alan Ryan, well, she's played it brilliantly. Oh, it's going to be a photo finish now. We won't go to the arc. We know how that works. Let's go to the VAR. And speaking of VAR, we'll go with Val. What have you got for us, Val? Who do you think they've...
That's Alan. I reckon that's Alan Ryan. That is a sensational shot.
So
let's
the weight,
not go to the arc because that is an absolute failure.
So the weight had to be probably just enough to turn the blues up to jack high or sit the shot bowl. She got down for the jack, and our mark is indicating one blue. So Alan Ryan, that's a great conversion.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal from Alan Ryan.
Sarah Trotter, well, she did it with her last bowl 2 ends ago in this direction. Can she do it again? Currently one down, but there's a fair bit of bowls, a fair bit of junk in the way.
I like that. I've never heard that in bowls. A bit of junk in the way. I like that, Baz.
Yeah, or as you say, a bit of junk in the eye. Or so, yeah, it's one of those ones here. I think forget that there's anything in your way and just play to the right line and length. If she does clear that front one, she's a chance. Well, not quite.
So a brilliant delivery from Alan Ryan. And she edges further ahead now. Barry Lester, 12-4. She's looking good.
Yeah, the ability to convert, and I just love the way Ellen just stalked that head when she was leaving, just having a really good look at that head and really making up not only the first thing you need to decide is what shot you're going to play, and then the two elements that come with that, what hand and what weight. And that's the thing about some of these players at this level. You can almost read their mind because you know how professional they go about it. Ellen Ryan, she knew well and truly before she got anywhere near down the other end. She had that head scoped out, forehand with weight, and got the result. So both players playing fairly solid bowls here, and some of these heads are coming down to the last couple of deliveries, and that just
It's been a lot of singles.
Yeah, it just goes to show that both players can convert. Hence the reason why they've got the nod for the singles. You've got to be able to play all shots in this game. So we're trying to guess these flags here, Val. We've got Sri Lanka, Brazil. What else have we got here, mate? Just to our
Sri
left.
Lanka, Turkey, Cook Islands. Can't see what's above the Cook Islands there. Hang on, let me have a quick peek.
They are starting to
That's Brazil.
just starting to move around these flags. We've got some teardrop banners around the surrounds as well. They look fantastic. I'm a big fan of the teardrop banners from a marketing perspective and an information perspective. Many bowls clubs going down that track now. Plenty of colour around the surrounds. As we see to the right there, some really good signage on the cyclone fencing. A lot of work's gone into preparing not only the greens but the surrounds, volunteers, staff, food from the kitchen, little mobile coffee truck out the back here. So they've really ticked all the boxes. Has Mudry Bar under the guidance of event manager Andrew Howie, done a tremendous job.
Fiona Hall as well has been magnificent. She's done a power of work, and we hope you're well, Fiona. We want to extend our well wishes to you. It's been a trying week, and all the best and best wishes from all of us here at Ringside Live and Bowls Australia, because you have done an amazing job. Wendy Morrell as well here, the chairperson. She was on the right line a few weeks ago. Very happy to be holding the World Bowls Championships here. There's a legacy thing and a legacy notion of hosting a World Bowls Championships, and Mudgery Bar will forever be known as a host club, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and they've come a long way as Mudgery Bar Bowling Club. You know, definitely one of the most picturesque and beautiful looking clubs. But to come back from the flood damage, some hardships, takes a huge body of work from members and volunteers.
Ellen Ryan, this direction is proving very fruitful. A 3 and a 3 in her last two ends this way. She's only lost once coming in this direction. And I reckon she'd be holding 3 right now.
And as we see it, it is backhand from Sarah Trotter. Finally switching.
She's very tight, but no, she's gone with weight here.
In the result area, run through and get the jack. Well,
oh, it's just gone too far.
It's definitely the go-to hand for me. Sarah Trotter, most times she's played that hand, she's had something to say. Of course, a few ends ago, coming down and springing the jack out to the wing on her backhand.
Went too far, Baz. But you have been calling for it.
Yeah, it's easy for us, Val, to see it from afar. But sometimes when you're living and breathing the game, you're the player out there. Self-reflection is huge. You don't want to do it to a point that puts you into a negative mindset. You've got to just keep reflecting, have a moment. I remember back in the early 2000s when Malaysia, as Alan Ryan just not happy with I'm falling short, Malaysia, some of their players would keep a little notebook on them and fill out notes at the end of each end and keep little scorecards, and each to your own with that, self-reflecting, self-performance during a game. As many sports you'll see, timeouts in basketball, football have quarter time, three-quarter time, half time. Well, you've got to have your own little quarter time, your own little timeout. You've got to do it during a game. call your own little timeout, as we see Sarah there just having a chat on the bank. That's what she's doing now. That's her timeout, just having a little reflection time, having a little discussion. Get away, grab a drink, take some deep breaths, and stay in control.
Big thank you to Scott Slimman for the feedback. He loves you, Barry. And thank you for the kind words, Scott. A great family member of this Ringside Live community. So, Sarah Trotter, opportunity here for her.
So backhand it is. Sarah.
Drawing weight this time.
Yeah, looking for a trail here.
If she gets it, there's a big opportunity for her. She's just going to miss on the high line. So, Ellen Ryan, this would just be the one.
As you see there, just on the bank there. If we keep that camera there, Val, Locke, thanks for that. Drink bottles on the bank. So one in behind the number, one out near the peg. These athletes, they know they need every help they can get. As Sarah sits down, has a chat to her management, keeping hydrated throughout these long days. They're big days. I know the Jackaroos will be doing morning walks, even just getting to the venues earlier. They're 12, 13-hour days, and you need every bit of hydration you can get. And hydration actually starts the night before. You want to wake up feeling great and hydrated and ready to go.
So what are you having before bed, Baz? So say the night before, what are you doing to make sure that you don't wake up dehydrated? Because I woke up this morning, sore throat. I bet I did not drink enough water yesterday, so I'd already get a slap on the wrist from the HP staff if that was the case. But for you, what would you have to do?
Yeah, so from an athlete's perspective, knowing that you're on your feet all day, you're exerting so much energy, and you might think standing, so even the markers themselves, the volunteers, they're out on their feet. They need to be staying hydrated. Unfortunately, we've seen even people sitting in crowds over the years faint or fall to just being dehydrated. It's a huge factor. Hydration is a super important part of the athlete environment. Last year, heading to the Commonwealth Games, we did a course at the Australian Institute of Sport all on nutrition and hydration around preparing for long flights and stretching and so on, just so that we got off the plane and landed in England and were ready to go physically. And these players here, they know it's an important factor. So the night before, you want to be getting plenty of nutrition, the correct nutrition and hydration. Ideally, you probably want to stop about an hour before bed, so you're not up all night going to the toilet. But if you can stop about an hour before sleep, get plenty of water into you. Some players in certain conditions, I remember when I played in South Africa, we had a lot of water with electrolytes, knowing that was above sea level, about 1,000 feet above sea level. So looking at those conditions. So these players more so are just trying to combat the long days. And if you're feeling hydrated, that'll help your mental concentration levels as well. So they're all the attributes of being physically and mentally on top of your game. A lot of it comes back to hydration and nutrition.
Very nice. Yeah, I think that's the one thing, learning when to stop before you go to sleep.
Yeah, there's a cut-off period or else you are up all night.
Yeah. Yep. And it's not fun, especially when you like your sleep. So. And
look at Sarah. Look at the energy levels coming down after this screen. Okay, it's so important that you can do that day in, day out. And you want to feel your energy levels need to be the same at end one in the morning as they do at the last end of the day. And it's up to you to prepare and recover that way, so that your country needs you all throughout the day, and it's your job to prepare yourself to the best of your ability. And that's what these athletes do well.
Yep, and the high-performance sector at Bowls Australia has grown drastically under the guidance of Steve Glasson, now Gary Willis, Ellen Ryan.
Yeah, a bit of room for Alan.
And I think you're one, Baz, that you've seen how things have changed over the years. You've seen it evolve as Alan goes in. That'll be a second. But yeah, you've seen how it's 3 there from Di Milner. Beautifully done from Ellen Ryan. You've seen how it's all changed, and it's changed so much for the better, hasn't it? And it's where Bowls needs to get to, and it continues to get to. It's fantastic.
Oh, we're very spoiled, the Jackaroos, with the assistance of the Australian Institute of Sport. and the state institute bodies. I was a scholarship holder for many years at the Victorian Institute of Sport, and without their guidance and professional help, I probably wouldn't have reached the heights that I've been lucky to. As Sarah Trotter's trying to disturb this head.
Found the goalposts.
And it doesn't matter what level you play at. There's bowlers out there right now looking to win club championships or get selected in higher grades, and majority of them probably focusing on how they can play better and perform better, and a lot of it will be around how your body and mind are shaping up before a big match. And there's so many good things online out there. We're spoiled now with the internet, YouTube. You can download hydration strategies.
It's true.
You can look at what foods help you. Your vitamin C's for concentration. Your fish, chicken, proteins, all that. So it goes a long way throughout a long day's play. And Alan Ryan, as she loses a jack there, she really prides herself. Having spent a bit of time with Alan on tour, especially with the BPL team, always stretching, hydrating, preparing and recovering.
She's a very fit individual as well, Ellen. She loves her swimming, horseback riding, and she's also a volunteer firefighter, which you just have to be fit if you're going to be doing anything to do with firefighting, or if you're going to be around that. So, Ellen Ryan, 16-4. She has piled it on. She's won 5 of the last 6 ends. 3 of those have been trebles.
Yeah, so backhand it is. No surprises there. Alan just trying to keep rhythm here. Trying to play the same hand. Just keep arcing away, finding a nice line. And this one just falling short. Pretty handy line. So that's actually going to be probably good for Sarah, I believe. That's going to actually force her to play her first delivery on her backhand. So sometimes you're forced to play a certain hand, and it might actually end up helping you. Let's see how Sarah goes with her first opening bowl on this backhand. Well, guess what? Right down the middle.
Yep. Well, you've been calling for it, Barry. Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, it's just more consistent, that hand. The breeze has, as we see, is that an omen? Is that an omen?
How was the little stride through there? I reckon that could be shot of the day for today. Look at that.
Can we get a replay on that lock? How good are you, mate? Okay, so for our Collingwood supporters that have tuned in to watch, we just got a little prance from a magpie, one of the locals. I reckon that one might even have a pet name. Fiona, if you tuned in to watch, Fiona, if you've tuned in to watch still, I reckon I wouldn't be surprised if that little magpie that danced past before, here we go, dancing past the head.
How was the prance and the wings just extended out then?
Wouldn't be surprised if it has a pet name, that one.
Sarah Trotter puts in.
It is that
the
time
shot.
of year.
Yep.
Yeah, it's magpie
Have
season.
you ever been swooped, Baz?
I actually got pecked on the head when I was younger. Yeah, and where I grew up in country Victoria.
Oh, they'd be everywhere.
Magpies and plovers walking to school or just playing local cricket or football, you had to be on the lookout at all times. As Alan Ryan tries to make a correction here. Has she done enough?
If it falls in, yes. But
Yes.
I'm not so sure. Yeah, no, I've never been swooped, and I hope that it doesn't happen. 1 red indicated by die.
Yeah, 1 red it is. So, yeah, you got to be on the lookout. It's we all know what season it is around spring for magpies. They're a very active animal.
And Marie Siteman, that bird was hilarious.
Yeah, that just it adds a bit of flavour to some of our local animals. So you'll see in these parts, especially around the bay, Broadbeach, you'll see some water dragons if you take a bit of a walk around the beach.
What about the old bin chicken, the ibis?
Yeah,
around.
Love the ibis, so iconic.
And they're a good-looking bird too. It's
Yeah, I
it's
remember
disappointing they have the nickname the bin chicken.
in 2019 Asia Pacific Games, we're playing against USA, Aaron Zangel, Lauren Dion, and a few other boys, and there's these kookaburras up on the line, having a huge big laugh. And I remember Aaron Zangel asking, what is that? What is that bird making that noise? I told him what it was. And we've always had a bit of a chuckle since, as Alan Ryan corrects beautifully and draws the shot. And I said, that's the local kookaburra. He said, kookaburra what? I said, that's the kookaburra. And such an iconic laugh has the kookaburra. Love the kookaburra here on the Gold Coast.
A lot of the visiting folks here get to see a lot of the wildlife, and they might get up close and personal with a dancing magpie. There you go. That's in the magpie world. I reckon that one is part of the Broadway. Is part of the Broadway group.
I love how it didn't just come in for a little walk around the head. It literally pranced across the head with its wings up. So Sarah Trotter, she is one down, but a little bit of room, probably about 14 to 15 inches of room, but she's looking for the jack trail for 3, but just missing high.
So 1 to Alan Ryan, and you know what that means. She is in the checkout zone within one end of victory, 17 to 4. What a performance this has been from the 2022 Com Games champion.
Yeah, played a big one when it mattered. One down. Did it with her last, Alan Ryan. Wasn't far off with the previous deliveries, but yeah, we're just giving a little bit of an update on our Australian animals.
Yep.
Now, for those tuning in from places like Colombia.
John Siteman saying the best moment ever with animals was seeing Alex Marshall chasing an ibis off his rink during the 2016 Australia-Scotland series. That would have been a sight to behold.
Yes, what a great series that was. Yeah. And, that would have been, I'm sure we've got some footage of that in the archives. It was a televised event.
It'll be here, I'm sure, on Facebook. Go back and find that eventually.
Yeah, it was a good series, that one that was played at Broadbeach. Some TV games. Players coming out to Australia. Great to see. Alan Ryan, 2 feet short, just off the course slightly. But we are, as you mentioned earlier, Val, we are slightly off the coastline, only ever so slightly on the other side of the Gold Coast Highway or freeway. And, yeah, we've got some really good nature. Plenty of koalas making noises in the trees at night at the moment. I heard them the other day. So same thing, that kind of season. So at the moment we've got the magpies, the koalas coming into season around spring. The weather just starting to warm up, and I just started to see last night some cane toads.
You saw them?
Yeah, in the garden. See them in the garden most nights. Out
really?
In the front yard. So
cane toad? I don't think I've ever seen one of those up close.
Yeah, you'll see them in, especially when there's a bit of warmth in the air and a bit of rain. Last night they were out and about.
Keep those as a pet, Baz?
No, I don't like them at all. Having a little dog. Yeah.
Certainly,
it's one
keep
thing.
Ovo away from him.
Yeah, no, he's quite good. He doesn't go near them, which is great. So Sarah Trotter having a crack at that forehand, just missing her line. Pretty handy weight.
Leanne Patterson saying she had a hippo cross the green in South Africa.
That's a famous photo, that one. I've seen it. Seen a photo of a hippo on a bowling green.
That's full on. I reckon I'd be darting away Alan Ryan. Speaking of darting away, well, she's darted in.
Yeah, well, she's currently on 17, holding 3.
Sorry, I just burst out laughing at the latest comment from Philip McNally, mate playing at Paradise Point, had a pelican drop a fish on his rink.
Yeah, I've seen that one too. I saw that where I grew up in Lakes Entrance, saw a pelican drop a leather jacket onto the green as Sarah Trotter needs contact. Well, she's still 3 down now. And also saw a pelican, unfortunately, have a mistake on a bowler once, flying over, created a new uniform. So that wasn't a great sight. But, yeah, when you play bowls Oceanside, which I did growing up in Lakes Entrance, unfortunately, there's some extra paint on the green at times. You get out with the sponge and pressure washer. But Alan Ryan, she's got a big shot here. As much as she's got a lot of room, still needs to be played here.
Yep, and she could be holding game, Barry Lester.
Yeah.
She likes it.
Just needs to hurry now. Needs to push. It's going to be enough.
Yeah, that'll do.
Wind's really got that. Yes,
that
it
is 4. So, Sarah Trotter to extend the match.
And these trying conditions, you can see Alan Ryan's all 4 bowls right down the middle there. Brilliantly done. Sarah Trotter. That's a good line coming from where Alan Ryan's bowls have been turning in from.
It is. Does she have the weight, though, Barry?
She's got the weight. Can she sit something? She can. Might have got second out of that, maybe third.
That is just the one. So she saved game once. 18-4. We go on. Alan Ryan, 3 away from victory. She was very, very close, and that was a good bowl from Sarah Trotter to cut that down. Weight was okay in the end. I thought it might have been a bit quick, but great way to save game. She's from 4 down to 1 down.
I remember just a few months ago, Val, the Olympic Committee for the 2032 Olympics at in Brisbane, they were looking for an animal mascot, and they did raise the idea of the binchook, the ibis.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if it's been decided yet.
Look, I think they should, just for the memes, really.
Well, I reckon that magpie's putting its hand up.
Yeah. The dancing bowls magpie. Well, if they choose that magpie, that means they have to pick bowls in the Olympics.
That's right.
Because we saw it first.
Obviously, Barobi, 218 Com Games.
Yep.
Back in 2006 was a black cockatoo called Karak.
I remember Karak. It was plastered all over Melbourne. And Borrowby was, of course, the Commonwealth Games Australia mascot for Birmingham last year, which was great to see. I had a little plush Borrowby waiting for me in my room when I got to the village. How good was a village in Birmingham, by the way? We saw DJ Blessed make his debut.
Yeah.
Before you went off to Ibiza.
Alan Ryan, 1 yard of weight on a really good line again. She's had this hand all to herself this match. And she's played a cracker there. Yeah, and just going back to that, Durban in South Africa originally had the nod for the 222 Com Games and couldn't quite get it done. So Birmingham picked it up and especially through COVID, managed to put on one of the best Com Games ever.
It was great. I had a great time over there. Leamington Spa, a picturesque place to play and watch bowls. As that one drifts a bit too far. No, it does cut it down. It is darting, so you're right, Baz. She's just, you've been saying go on the backhand. Alan Ryan has been able to utilise it so well.
Yeah, for me, Val, it's what it's more about is when you come off the green and maybe, you know, with this opportunity you get to come back and actually watch the game and reflect, but it's more so about what we normally do as a player or an athlete and a bowler, of course, is we probably reflect and go through some what-ifs. What if I may have switched hands and what if I may have tried different lengths? And we will do a big reflection piece after the game, but you've got to be doing some self-reflection during the game. And then hopefully while you're reflecting, something might just click and it might be the difference. Sarah Trotter, what a shot.
That is good.
Massive correction required, and she's done that into a front toucher. And
makes things difficult for Alan Ryan.
Definitely.
What does she do? Do you go big at it?
Look at the arc this comes in from. High turning bowl. Oh, small contact required now for Alan Ryan. It's just going to be over the draw. Just forehand.
Last bowl of the end for Alan Ryan. Held game in the last end. Course singles, it's not over until you hit 21 unless you do hit that 2-hour 15 time limit, which doesn't happen much in this format.
Alan Ryan hasn't played too many on the forehand. Just looking to crack an egg on the shot bowl. Maybe turn it over 2 or 3 times. Kick the jack back.
So we get a nice look at how to spell Cyprus.
Yeah, it's a lovely green, that, isn't it?
Yep. There we go. I think Sarah just realised there. Of course, it is a World Championships, and she's going to concede and declare the end. So 1-2 Sarah Trotter. That's her first registry of a score since the ninth end. We were on end 16. So it is 18-5 in favour of Alan Ryan, who will have the last bowl of the end.
Sarah Trotter just needs to forget about the score. That will work itself out. You can control a lot, and that's called these next 4 deliveries. Just try and get them close.
That's all you got to do. Be in the area. That's what Alan Ryan has done this entire match. She's dropped 5 ends. All of them, Baz, singles, which is so impressive.
And that's a great sign of that maturity and well-rounded singles game that Alan Ryan can provide. That ability just to plug away, be resilient, know your time to strike when it comes to playing a weighted shot, and knowing when just to settle, bide your time. And of course, with it being a time-limited game, Alan Ryan doesn't actually have to score 21 to win this match.
She doesn't. She'd like to. I don't think she'd want to be playing out the full allotment of time with still over an hour to go. I reckon she'll want to be in there in the next 10, 15 minutes talking with Karen Murphy and having a debrief ahead of her final match of the day. And she puts one right on the money.
Yeah, so if I was a current player in the World Championships out there from any country, any team, any discipline, I'd be watching this match and saying, you know what, if I have to play on this green at Madru Bar Bowls Club, Alan Ryan has already shown me which hand to play. Her consistency on that side of the rink has been phenomenal. And they're all the learnings, the studies the players will be playing. Look at Sarah Trotter, not far away on this generous hand. They're all the learnings these players will be studying opposition, studying conditions. I know some players write down rink notes. They might write it down on a pen and paper or put it in their phone and just write down their learnings from a certain green or a certain direction they've played in or a certain rink. Put them in their memory bank.
So that, I think, is 2 for Alan. Very, very close. Mentally, she's been unflappable yet again. Sarah Trotter has tried hard, toiled hard. Just hasn't had the legs. Alan Ryan with an opportunity to put another one in here to hold game yet again. And if she does, it'll be up to Sarah Trotter to have to defend yet again.
Alan Ryan out on a beautiful line. Just a matter of curling back with the right weight here.
She's walking in behind it.
It's taking a little bit longer to get here, this one. So just pulling up short on a great line again.
So she gave herself a little bit of a clap of the hands there, just saying good line, but don't quite have the weight. So a little bit of a frustrated clap, but let's see what Sarah Trotter can do. If she can't put one in, Alan Ryan's going to have an opportunity to win the match with the next bowl.
Yeah, a couple of big positives out of Sarah Trotter's previous 2 deliveries. They are well weighted. So try and play with that same feel of weight and just try and correct your line. Grab as many positives out of every delivery as you can. And Sarah Trotter will be just trying to sit the shot bowl, move the jack around the corner. Pretty good line out between those 2 chalk lines is usually where it comes from. She's not far away here.
She's not at all. Barry Lester, she's close. Has she found anything? She's just nudged the jack with a whisker. Alan Ryan with an opportunity here to finish the match off. But geez, that was close.
She gets the jack in the heart there. I think she's
4.
holding 4.
Yep.
And all of a sudden,
18-5 becomes 18-9.
That's right. And even though Alan's got one to come, it just goes to show you've just got to stay sharp the whole time, every end, every shot. Just keep punching away, being on the top of your game. And Alan Ryan here, I believe she's holding 2. And I think she draws this one.
Yep.
Just needs to find a yard on the last. She's had her line down pat. I think the last two ends, she played every bowl down the spine.
So, Alan Ryan, much wider line than before, hoping it'll dart back. She wants it to turn. She wants it to turn. And what have we got here?
Not quite.
Not quite. They're going to have a quick look. 1, 2. Tell you what, Baz, she's not far.
2 it is.
2 it is. We go on a little longer. Ellen Ryan now, the equation is, well, she just needs one more. Any end that she wins means the match is over. Nigh on perfection is required from Sarah Trotter from now on in. Glenn Billy Baxter, Sarah not a bad player at all. Ellen is just a machine.
Yeah, we definitely agree to that. No, I think Sarah's been pretty solid herself. Just a few loose ones, and I've mentioned it previously on other live stream games. It's not always how many good bowls you play. It's just reducing the loose ones. You can still get a win or a really good day's play in if you just tidying up those loose ones. And we all want to be on the jack all day long, but it's the ones that are just out in no man's land that come back to haunt us, and they usually result in dropping a multiple. And Sarah's technique is always going to put her in good stead, I feel. Really good routine, gets the bowl away nice. And, yeah, she's going well. Definitely going well. Nice shot. Nice opener. So switch for Alan Ryan. Only played a couple of bowls in this forehand. So new territory for Alan, but she seems to have read it quite well. Moving in nicely here. That's a great shot.
So, again, Alan Ryan holds game. Jane Misson believes in Sarah Trotter. She believes she can come back, and in singles, why not? It's happened before. Lara Butler, actually, yesterday for Switzerland, got a message about her score. She was down 4-17 against Anne Nunes in the women's singles, as Sarah Trotter just can't get the result. 4-17 and won 21-18, Lara Butler.
Yeah, it's funny because it's a cosmetic thing. You look at 20-5 and you think, wow, how can I score 16 shots to nil and win? There's been stages throughout your bowling career in a club event, a singles game somewhere in your career, you've gone on a run like that, and it's just a matter of believing you can do it again. But if you find yourself like that, 17-4 down, well, she's gone on to win. What's that? 17 to
1.
17 to 1. So
unreal.
If your opposition can get on a run of winning many ends and scoring multiples, why can't you? And that's just that self-belief. And no better example than Aaron Sheriff in the Australian Open singles semi-final this year.
Against Glenn Pitts.
Yeah, just tried a complete brand new length and never looked phased at all, did Aaron Sheriff. You would have swore the way his body language was and the way he went about that game that you would have swore he was actually well in front. He didn't look rattled at all, and he looked very composed and had a lot of self-belief, and come back to win from that match and go on all the way.
So Alan Ryan now holding one. Sarah Trotter's come up to have a look at the head.
I think she has to have 2 goes at trying to get rid of this bowl, Val. Not an easy draw shot. I think 2 little backhand runners at the shot bowl, maybe kick the jack out in the open. She does have the backers bowl. So, yes, it is. It's going to be backhand with weight. As we see, set up, body nice and square to her target. Bowl already in line. Pick it up and execute. Backhand with weight, looking for the shot bowl of Alan Ryan's. It's not far away here.
Not far away at all, but it's going to collect off the front.
Just missing high.
So one more for Sarah Trotter to do something about this. Ellen Ryan will stride down to the mat for what could be the last time in this match, as she looks to really reaffirm her favouritism in this competition. She looks for her 7th win without loss. She lost one in the sectional round at the Commonwealth Games to Lucy Beer. And Lucy was on the receiving end of Ellen's triumphant performance in the final. Down 9-3. Ellen Ryan in that final was magnificent in her comeback. Wants this one to turn.
Yeah, just wants to get to the tee here, Ellen Ryan. She knows if the jack kills, she's one down. So not too far away.
Yeah, that'll do.
Could be, but it's a good home as well in case Jack spits out. But Sarah Trotter's trying to remove that shot bowl of Ellen Ryan's clean without taking her own out or kicking the jack out or one shot on the tee. She's out on a good line again. If this gets back, she is very close here. She needs the ball clean.
Got it.
Done it.
Sarah Trotter. We go on. Brilliantly done from the Cypriot.
So managed to save game a couple of times now, so that will breed good confidence into Sarah.
So Ellen Ryan has held game in the last 3 ends. Sarah Trotter has managed to cut things down, and she's won 2 of them and then cut what was a 3 down to 2. Never give up. Ellen Ryan has dropped 6 ends, all singles. She's been in the area the entirety of this contest. Has had at least second shot in every single end, which is remarkable considering that this is end number 19. Michael Quayle saying great saves. They certainly are. Sarah Trotter, brilliantly done. We've lost the jack, so Ellen Ryan will get to control the length and have last bowl. So she'll be pretty pleased with that. She wants to be out of the sun, out of the wind, into some lunch. After this, 2:45, men's triples action. Australia against France. That's what's coming up. Healy, Wedlock and Sheriff. They have gotten over the top of, or look like they're going to get over the top of Fiji. Still 5 ends to play. 19-7 they lead. All they needed to do was win. Malaysia will reaffirm their spot at the top of the group. 17-5 over Argentina. They look in complete control.
Yeah, they've actually moved away again, Val. They're 22-6 up now, Malaysia, so they're really running on from this morning's victory.
Sarah Trotter giving Ellen a lot of room here, Baz.
Yeah, Ellen Ryan, she's played this side of the rink so well all day. She's only had to swap hands on a couple of occasions, but that's been the key for me. In windy conditions, you must achieve the middle of the rink. And Ellen's pretty much nearly every delivery for the last half an hour has been right down the middle, and just a matter of feeling your weight then. Sarah Trotter going with Ellen on this forehand side. Just needs to hold on now. We'll get away with the wind as we see it turn there.
So Ellen continues to hold game, I believe.
Very close.
Yep. She's got 3 balls to do something about it. Will we be done, or will Sarah Trotter continue to hold on? Doesn't help that she lost the jack, but
coming in nicely.
Yep, look at this.
Going to turn, needs to fall now. It's going to stay up.
So again, it's close. But die. Says one blue.
Yeah, such great professionalism shown from our markers and ITOs. Do a lot of training, volunteer a lot of hours into the sport. As you see there, nice clear call. One down and then a direction of how far the shot bowl is away. Sarah Trotter can pick up this jack. Will sit the bowl. Needs to stop now.
Oh, it doesn't. Gee, she's been in the area, hasn't she, Barry? She's going to have one more left to save this. Ellen Ryan, no doubt, will try and get one more in the area. Yep. What a performance it's been.
Yeah, on a really good line with this one. As it works back nicely. Maybe a fraction more weight than her last delivery, but look at that, all down the middle. And as you can see, all the deliveries so far have been on the forehand, and they're all fairly close to the centre line. So one shot it is to Australia. Sarah Trotter. Down game again.
Can she save it again? It's been 3 ends on the bounce where she has. This could be it. But I'm backing her in, Barry.
Small correction required to her previous delivery.
On its way.
She's out above that chalk line.
Walks in behind it, I tell you what. Nah, she is tight here. But
She's
will
heavy.
it stop in time? No. That'll be it.
Alan will just double check.
Just make sure that she does have it. Have a look. Analyse. Sarah Trotter's also going to analyse, so maybe we're not too sure.
Well, Alan Ryan's still got one to come, so if she's not sure...
Put another one down.
Well,
No, that's it. Bowl has been kicked. Sarah Trotter has conceded that the end is Ellen Ryan's. She scores the one, and after 19 ends, the Australian Commonwealth Games champion for 2022 continues her rapid run here at the World Bowls Championships in 2023. Ellen Ryan defeats Cyprus's Sarah Trotter 21-6 in a truly brilliant display. She's won 2 matches this morning, Baz. 42 shots for, 7 shots against.
Yeah, terrific play and just rhythm for me. Hardly played the other side of the rink, just stuck to her guns, found that hand early and stuck at it. So, and was managed just to get those bowls down the centre and pick out the right weight when she needed. But great learnings for Sarah, because the thing about playing in these live stream games, she can go away, reassess things, and help her performances moving forward. But well done to both ladies, and I really liked how Sarah, she really backed herself to stay in the game no matter what the score looked like right to the end.
Brilliantly done from Ellen Ryan. Sarah Trotter, commiserations, but she played very, very nicely indeed. Really pushed Ellen and made her play those extra ends and made her play those extra bowls that she didn't want to play, but a brilliant display from her nonetheless. Up next, Baz, you and I are going to be here at Mudgery Bar for the Australia versus France men's triples clash. Thank you very much. I'll see you then.
Yeah, great job, Val.
Same to you. And at 2:45, which is in just under or just over an hour and a half's time, we're looking forward to catching you then here at Mudgery Bar. Until then, it's bye for now.